So I got into punk when I was 16 years old, which is in 1990. So I still imagine myself as a punk. Through punk that I discovered politics. Punk gave me like a different sense of how to be in the world. The sort of number one thought that compels me is, what the fuck is happening? When I write zines, it's a little bit different. The process of putting together a zine is just so much more tactile than just, typing away at my keyboard. My zines have also always been political. They've also always dealt with questions of empire and war and feminism and activism, but I just have a different relationship to the process of their creation. I get to cut and paste things, and I get to think about like what images would go with these words, and it's just much more of a different kind of creative process than academic writing. Like an encounter I remember most from when I was a refugee child was being at a local supermarket in a suburb in Minnesota, and I was maybe 10 at the time, and then a white woman walked up to me and said, "You killed my husband in Vietnam." And I remember being really confused. That was probably the most overt encounter I had with the kind of animosity that Americans had towards Vietnamese refugees. When I was figuring all this out, things like punk helped me to make sense of it. Things like feminist theory, post-colonial theory, all helped me to make sense of that encounter and the long histories of U.S. empire that led up to that confrontation in the supermarket. The advice I would give to anybody who's trying to think about what to do would be to find safety in solidarity, to think together, to make things together, and also I think to break some things together. Basically, we're totally screwed.